So I know arthritis can be especially painful for our pets. So what's the best thing that you can give to your dog to help manage this pain?
So pain, first of all, when looking at pain, we've got to eliminate the sort of inflammatory side of things. So you really want sort of a combination of anti-inflammatories and painkillers. So the anti-inflammatory side of things, we tackle by a lot of the supplements, so that's where the fatty acids come in. And then, as if that's not enough, so sometimes in the early stages, that's enough to just alleviate a lot of the, the low level pain that we see. However, as it progresses, then we start to layer in some other treatments. So that's where we're looking at, other drug treatments that come in. So we're talking about non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. We're talking about opioid painkillers in the later stages, and CBD. Let's not forget CBD. It's a really potent sort of analgesic, and there's various other sort of chemicals and sort of drugs that we can use that have really strong pain relief actions. The downside of them is that most of the time there is some payoff, there is some side effect that we will see. So we need to tailor for each particular animal something that's going to work for them. And it's, you may have a bit of a trial and error. Sometimes you'll try a drug, works perfectly for one dog, and the next dog really doesn't tolerate it well at all. So it's a very individualized thing.
Of course. So going down the natural route again, what's the, how do you treat arthritis using natural methods and supplements?
Yeah, so natural therapies, obviously that includes sort of the physical side of things as well. So supplements, as we say, you've got things like glucosamine, chondroitin. A lot of the herbal medicines will help with inflammation and pain. So things like curcumin, which is in turmeric, that's the active ingredient of turmeric, that has really potent anti-inflammatory actions. The fatty acids in hemp seed oil and fish oils really help with inflammation. So those are your sort of supplements that can really help. And then physical therapies such as acupuncture, massage, hydrotherapy. These are all sort of natural ways, I guess, of helping, as well as obviously reducing weight. Super important that we have really controlled exercise and sort of the optimal weight for an animal. They're not putting too much pressure on those joints.
Yeah, of course. So you mentioned hydrotherapy. So are you saying, does this help dogs with arthritis?
Yeah, it certainly does. So the main goal, so with regards exercise with dogs that have arthritis and people as well, you really want to keep the muscles in optimal efficiency without putting pressure on the joints. So what we want to avoid too much of is what we would call contusive exercise. And that's where the limbs are actually hitting the floor, so if you're running on a hard floor, that's contusive exercise. Whereas swimming is non-contusive. So you're using those muscles, but you're not putting any weight on those joints. So hydrotherapy is really one of the, it's one of the really amazing ways to both reduce weight in our animals as well as keep those muscles healthy without putting any extra pressure on the joints. So it's a really, really, really good form of exercise.
You see a lot now about dog massage, as crazy as it may sound. Will this help dogs with arthritis?
Definitely, yeah. Same thing as us. Yeah, so the massage promotes blood flow to an area. And blood flow to an area is what brings the anti-inflammatory agents in the body to the area that they're needed. So massage is really important to promote good blood flow. That allows good kind of immune cells in, and it allows things to be taken out, all the stuff that's causing the inflammation, the bad stuff, to be sort of shipped away from the area. So blood flow is your main kind of transit route, I guess, in and out of damaged areas. So super important in that sense. It can also help a lot with pain relief, so it's been shown in people that, massage really helps to alleviate pain. That physical touch helps to release some endorphins, and that what we call passive range of motion. So passive range of motion is where you're exercising the muscles without putting any pressure on the joints. So you're sort of literally picking up your dog's leg and sort of naturally sort of moving it without them having to do any exercise. So it's just a really, really gentle way, like physiotherapy, you know, it's the same as exactly the same as physiotherapy in people. So obviously it's not as commonly practiced. And, you know, as a vet and as a vet myself, there just isn't time in a general consultation to do that kind of thing. But these days, especially if you're in a really urban area, there's often facilities that will have a combination of hydrotherapists, physiotherapists, and specific animal massage therapists. So if you have access to something like that, it's fantastic.